The U.S. has never been a force for stability in the Middle East, least of all in Palestine. On the face of it, it looks like the United States was taking direct control of Israeli policy towards the Gaza Strip. We've seen reports, for example, that the Israelis are required to get a U.S. sign-off on attacks and other measures towards the Gaza Strip, that the U.S. was taking control of the entry of aid through the crossing points into the Gaza Strip. But increasingly, it looks like it is the U.S. that is being used as a proxy for Israeli policy by the Israeli government. And I think the one thing that stands very clear is that the U.S. is now directly complicit in anything and everything that happens in the Gaza Strip. The U.S. has never been a force for stability in the Middle East, least of all in Palestine. And in this particular case, it's certainly not tied to any political process, because if we look at the Trump initiative, it seems to go out of its way not to initiate a political process. What we've seen, for example, is all these endless, unachievable requirements being placed upon the Palestinian Authority to reform, completely unrealistic requirements being placed on the Palestinians to disarm, and so on. And so and even more importantly, the Gaza Strip is being fully separated from the West Bank, and at least according to the Trump initiative, will be placed under a kind of colonial administration known obscenely as the Board of Peace. I think the larger question is this initiative going anywhere? And I think the answer really is no. And what the Trump initiative ultimately will do is seek to provide some kind of legitimacy to the partitioning of the Gaza Strip, to Israel retaining direct control over approximately half of it, and to be able to strike the Palestinians in the other half of the Gaza Strip at will, similar to what we've seen in Lebanon, with the objective of eventually, perhaps in smaller numbers than initially anticipated, forcing the Palestinians out of the Gaza Strip. But the Trump initiative, I think we need to understand, is essentially stillborn. And I think a year or two from now, this U.S. facility that was established in Kiryat Gat will be a distant memory as well.